Every night at 9 o'clock, Marcus Chen did something strange. He stood outside a fancy restaurant called Bellissimo, holding a white bag of leftover food. And every night, he waited for a little girl to come take it. Her name was Amara. She wore a brown jacket that was too big for her. She wore a tan hat pulled down over her ears. And she always carried 2 white grocery bags that looked heavy. "Good evening, Mr. Chen," Amara would say quietly. "Good evening, Amara," Marcus would answer. Then he would give her the bag of leftovers. She would say thank you. And she would disappear into the dark city streets. This happened every single night for 3 whole months. Marcus was rich. Very rich. He owned a big computer company worth millions and millions of dollars. He wore expensive suits. He ate at fancy restaurants. He lived in a huge house all by himself. But something about Amara bothered him. Why was a little girl out alone so late at night? Where were her parents? Where did she go with those heavy bags? And what did she do with all that leftover food? For 3 months, Marcus pushed these questions away. He told himself that giving her food was enough. He was helping. That was good. He didn't need to know more. But tonight was different. Tonight, Marcus couldn't stop thinking about those questions. Tomorrow was Thanksgiving, and he kept imagining Amara spending it all alone. The thought made his chest feel tight. So Marcus made a choice. Tonight, he would follow her. When Amara took the bag and turned to leave, Marcus started walking behind her. He stayed far back so she wouldn't see him. He hid behind other people on the sidewalk. He walked quietly. Amara walked fast, like she knew exactly where she was going. She turned corners without thinking. She crossed streets without looking at signs. This was a path she had walked many, many times before. After 6 blocks, everything started to change. The nice shops disappeared. The bright lights disappeared. Now there were old buildings with broken windows. There were fences with holes in them. There were fewer people on the streets. Amara kept walking. Her grocery bag swung back and forth with each step. 3 more blocks, and Marcus felt worried. This neighborhood looked dangerous. The buildings were falling apart. Some windows had sheets instead of curtains. People stood in dark doorways, watching him walk past in his expensive suit. But Marcus kept following Amara. Finally, she stopped. She stood in front of the worst building Marcus had ever seen. It was 5 floors tall, made of old red brick that was crumbling. The fire escapes were rusty. The front door hung crooked, like it might fall off. Amara pulled the door open and went inside. Marcus's heart was beating fast. Should he follow her into the building? What if she got scared? What if he was making a mistake? But he had come this far. He needed to know the truth. Marcus waited 30 seconds. Then he pulled open the crooked door and stepped inside. The hallway was dark. It smelled bad, like old wet clothes. The floor had broken tiles. Only one small light bulb was working, and it barely helped him see. He heard footsteps going up the stairs. Amara was climbing up, not staying on the first floor. Marcus started climbing too. He stayed quiet. He stayed in the shadows. 2nd floor. 3rd floor. 4th floor. 5th floor. On the 5th floor, Marcus hid by the stairs and watched. Amara walked to a door at the end of the hall. She put down her heavy bags. She pulled out a key. But before she could unlock the door, something happened that Marcus would never forget. The door flew open, and children came pouring out. 5 children rushed out of that apartment. 5 children, all smaller than Amara. All skinny. All talking at the same time. "Amara, you're back. Did you get food? I'm so hungry. Mama's coughing is really bad." Marcus stood frozen in the dark stairwell, watching everything. Amara changed instantly. She wasn't the quiet, polite girl anymore. Now she sounded like a mother. "Quiet, everyone. Yes, I got food. Help me carry these bags inside. Marcus, you watch the door. Elijah, help Sophia. Quickly now." The children grabbed the bags and ran back into the apartment. Amara started to follow them. Then she froze. She had seen Marcus standing in the shadows. They stared at each other. The rich man in his fancy suit. The poor girl in her too-big jacket. Neither one knew what to say. "Mr. Chen," Amara said. Her voice was shaking. "Why did you follow me?" Marcus stepped out of the darkness. "I wanted to know where you were going, who you were helping. I'm sorry I followed you without asking." Amara's face got hard. "Now you know. I have 5 younger brothers and sisters. Our mama is very sick. She can't work. So I take care of everyone." "Where's your father?" Marcus asked quietly. "Dead. 2 years ago. He died in an accident at his construction job." "And how old are you?" 11. 11 years old. Taking care of 5 children all by herself, while their mother was too sick to help. Marcus felt like someone had punched him in the stomach. "Can I come inside?" he asked gently. "Can I see?" Amara didn't answer right away. Then she nodded. "Okay. But don't judge us. We're doing our best." The apartment was the smallest place Marcus had ever seen. It was just one room. One tiny room for 7 people. There was a small kitchen area in the corner. Blankets and pillows covered the floor where the children slept. And in the corner, on a small bed, was a thin woman coughing hard into a towel. That was their mama. The 5 children sat in a circle on the floor. They watched as Amara opened the grocery bags. Marcus saw what was inside. Bread, milk, some apples, a small jar of peanut butter, basic food that had to feed 7 people, and his leftovers from the restaurant, some pasta that he hadn't finished. Amara divided everything perfectly. Each child got exactly 1/6 of the food. She put the last 1/6 on the counter. "That's for Mama," she explained, "for when she can eat." "What about you?" Marcus asked. "Where's your food?" "I eat at school. They have free lunch." She said it like it was normal, like it was fine. Marcus's mind was spinning. For 3 months, Amara had been taking his leftovers. Not for herself, for her whole family. "Amara," he said carefully, "how do you buy groceries? Where do you get money?" She looked down at her feet. "I work," she finally said. "Before school, I deliver newspapers. After school, I help at Mrs. Kim's corner store. I stock shelves and sweep floors. At night, sometimes I collect bottles and cans. People throw them away, and I can sell them for recycling. Whatever money I make, I use it to buy food." Marcus felt his eyes getting hot. He wanted to cry. This little girl worked 3 jobs. She went to school. She raised 5 children, all while her mother was dying on a bed in the corner. "You work 3 jobs and go to school and take care of 5 kids?" he asked. Amara looked up at him. Her eyes were tired. So tired. "Someone has to," she said. "Mama can't do it. And if the social workers find out how sick she is, they'll take us away. They'll put us in different homes. They'll break up our family. I can't let that happen." The woman on the bed coughed again. This time it was worse. Marcus could hear how sick she was. "Your mother needs a doctor," Marcus said. "I know," Amara whispered. "But doctors cost money we don't have." Marcus felt something break inside his chest. For 3 months, he had given this girl his leftover food. He had felt good about himself. He thought he was helping. But Amara had been carrying the weight of an entire family on her tiny shoulders. "I can help you," Marcus said. "Really help you." "You already help," Amara said. "You give me food every night." "No. I mean really help. Your mother needs a doctor. You need a better place to live. These children need—" "We don't take charity," Amara interrupted. Her voice was firm and strong. "We work for what we have. We don't beg." It's not charity, Marcus said carefully. It's letting me fix something that's wrong. Please, let me help. Amara stared at him for a long time. Her eyes looked like they had seen too much. Eyes that belonged to an adult, not an 11-year-old child. Why? She finally asked. Why do you care? Marcus thought about his own childhood. He had grown up with everything. A big house, nice clothes, good food every day, every opportunity in the world. He thought about his company and his millions of dollars. He thought about eating expensive dinners 5 nights a week. And he thought about this brave little girl. This girl who worked 3 jobs. Who made sure everyone ate before she ate. Who was willing to sacrifice everything to keep her family together. Because you remind me that I've been living wrong, Marcus said honestly. I've been focused on making money and buying things I don't need. But you've been focused on love. On family. On what really matters. You're 11 years old, and you understand life better than I do at 36. He paused and looked around at the children watching him. So please, let me help. Not as charity. As you teaching me what's actually important. Tears filled Amara's eyes. For the first time, Marcus saw her cry. Mama needs a doctor, she whispered. I'm so scared she's going to die. She's not going to die, Marcus said firmly. I'm calling my doctor right now. He makes house calls. He'll come here tonight and examine your mother. Mr. Chen, we can't afford. I can. And I will. Marcus looked at the 5 children staring at him with wide eyes. He looked at the sick woman on the bed. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, he said. I want all of you to come to my house. All 7 of you. We'll have a real Thanksgiving dinner. And then we're going to talk about long-term help. Better housing. Medical care for your mother. Making sure you can actually be a kid instead of being a parent. One of the younger girls, maybe 6 years old, tugged on Amara's jacket. Amara, can we please? I've never been to a rich person's house before. Amara looked torn. Her pride was fighting with her hope. Finally, she nodded. Okay, she said softly. Thank you, Mr. Chen. Call me Marcus, he said with a smile. As Marcus made phone calls to his doctor and to social workers who could help without breaking up the family, he realized something important. For 3 months, he thought he was helping Amara by giving her leftovers. But the truth was that Seichi had been helping him. Every night, she showed him what real strength looked like. What love could do. What sacrifice meant. And now, finally, he had the chance to help her back. Not with leftovers, but with everything her family needed to not just survive, but to truly live. If this story touched your heart, hit that like button. Drop a comment telling us what you would do if you met someone like Amara. And subscribe for more stories that will change how you see the world.